Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to walk you through a PPR 12-team mock draft here. It's going to be pretty standard. We'll get back to our wide receiver rankings here shortly for you. We've already handled 2 and 3. We checked those out, wide receivers 2 and 3. This week we'll get back into wide receivers very shortly. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and get through this mock draft. I'm going to share my screen here with you. And this is going to be a pretty standard PPR draft. Here we go. It's going to have 1 QB, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex spot, 1 kicker, 1 defense, and 6 bench spots. All right, so it's randomly selecting our draft position. Let's see here where we ended up. Looks like drafting from the 9 spot. I feel like we've drafted from the 9 spot a whole lot. See here, let's go ahead and grab the draft board and get that set up. Obviously, we're going to aim for the running backs that are going to be more pass-catching running backs. A few things have happened this week that kind of confuse the situation. Looks like Alvin Kamara is holding out. Can't imagine he's going to fall to us here. That's fine. As far as what I prefer to do, I think that Austin Eckler is the guy to go with here. It is kind of a toss-up. Devontae Adams is going to see a good bit of value, but I believe in building off of the running back here. I think first we can see maybe Miles Sanders would fall to us, but I don't know. Maybe Joe Mixon, that's not bad. But I like Austin Eckler. I think he's still going to get a good amount of value of PPR value for you in the pass catching for you, right? So let's go ahead, and I think that we need to go to the wide receiver if we can here. I do like Tyreek Hill as a redraft guy, but my problem with him as a PPR guy is that he just doesn't need a lot of volume to get the job done, and that's really been the case for him over his career, whereas Chris Godwin, I think, is the better pickup here. He's going to have a little more volume, a little more base, a little higher floor for you that way. So that's, I don't think that's a bad pick at the second pick for us in this draft. All right, coming up on the third pick, we're still kind of light at running back here. It looks like we might have a chance to fade running back a little bit, go with pass catching a little bit more, leaning that direction. I like Allen Robinson here. I think that's a great opportunity. He's a high-volume pass catcher in an offense that doesn't have a whole lot of targets to go around. He also lost David Montgomery, so they're going to have Tariq Cohen on the field a lot more. The word is that Leonard Fournette, as of right now, does not have a team, so we'll see what happens there. All right, we faded that running back spot a lot here, so we're going to have to. I think we're going to need to fill in on that. We could do that right now if we wanted, or we can just kind of hang around and see what's happening. I think that what we should do, let's go ahead and grab that wide receiver still again. We'll fill out the back of our roster a little bit before we fill out the front. And I'm leaning here, I think, Cooper over Ridley. I do like Ridley, and I think they've got a high volume of passes to go around, but gosh, Cooper is just going to provide a value this year, I think, because I think they're going to throw a heck of a lot. We could stack Dak here with that. 5th round for Dak Prescott, in my opinion, is a little early. I think that he should probably go closer to the 7th round or 6th round at the earliest. Right now, I'm torn between Kareem Hunt and Mark Ingram. I think that I'm going to go with Hunt here. He's a little bit, he's lower volume maybe than Ingram would be, but he's going to have a higher pass volume. And I think that's where we need to lean right now. As far as the 6th round, we've got Dak still on the board. We could reach for him here, try to stack with Cooper. I don't know that that's the best idea, though. I think what I want to do instead is go with Gallup. I think that's the right guy, the right move. If we miss on one of these wide receivers or we hit some COVID issues, we've got that pretty well summed up as a result. So let's go ahead and grab Gallup here. And let's look on the turn on the 7th here. Yeah, look, we've got David Montgomery, who is injured, but we also have Ronald Jones. And I think Ronald Jones is the pick here, guys. You've got Tariq Cohen, who's got a good amount of pass volume that he's going to be getting, but the news is obvious. It's clear what we've been saying all along is right, is that this is Ronald Jones's job. It's as clear as can be now, guys. So draft him with confidence. Getting him in the 7th round is a heck of a steal, actually. He's a running back 1 for his team. He's going to be the high volume guy for them, and that's a great grab in the 7th round, especially when we're running a little bit light on running back here. That's quite obvious. Cam Akers is going to be a decent volume player right now. We got Raheem Mostert as well. We are in the 8th round. We could start considering that tight end position a little bit. If we look at that, there are still some guys that I like that are hanging out there. Looks like Hurst is gone, but I think what we're going to do is stick with running back, and I'm going to go with Cam Akers. It's a bit of an upside pick. In the 8th round, you're not losing a whole heck of a lot by taking him there. You're not taking too big of a risk, and I do think that's he fell way down the board there, right? A high volume pass offense that's kind of a surprising offense for pass volume is actually the Miami Dolphins, believe it or not. It's a little odd how much they threw last year, and that was partly because their running game just wasn't working at all. But we can go with Preston Williams here in the 9th, and then I think that what we should do is start investigating tight end a little bit. Maybe we faded that a little too long, but we've got all the depth that we could possibly ever hope for at both running back and wide receiver right now. We're sitting strong right there. We could go get Matt Stafford. I think that's still a bit of a reach in the 10th round in the standard style league, where you're not dealing with keepers or anything like that. Let's look at the tight ends, and I think that what we want to do, go back-to-back Miami players. Let's go ahead and grab Gesicki. I like him. I like Mike Gesicki. There's not too many mouths to feed down there in Miami, whereas Austin Hooper, that was a little bit more concerning, simply because there's just too many people there in that offense to need to that they all need to be fed, guys. And so going for Austin Hooper, that's a tough one. That's a tough one this year. I was a big believer in Austin Hooper last year. I drafted him, and I got great value out of him. So waiting for that tight end is a great thing to do, but you need to make sure you're picking your spot appropriately. Here we are in the 11th round. Matt Stafford's still available. I'm going to go with him. And then let's go back and hit running back and wide receiver pretty hard the rest of the way. We'll save defense and kicker for the very end. So we want to go ahead and grab it. Looks like at least 2 more running backs, I think. Depends on what's falling to us. Alvin Kamara is holding out, guys. So Latavius Murray in the 12th round, that's a heck of a pickup. I do anticipate that Kamara is going to get a deal and he's going to show up. It may just be that he doesn't want to get hurt until the ink is dry or something. So, but still, Latavius Murray has standalone value. And in the games that Kamara missed last year, he put up over 300 yards and a couple touchdowns, and that was against the Bears, and I can't recall who the other one was. It's definite solid defenses that we shouldn't be afraid of, or that we shouldn't be afraid of taking a guy who's been successful against those defenses. All right, so let's check out running back really quick. Tony Pollard's available. Chase Edmonds is available. Those aren't bad. A.J. Dillon is available. Carlos Hyde, who I actually think could end up being the running back 1 on that team, and that's where I'm going to go, actually. I'm going to reach down here and go grab Carlos Hyde. I'm not building for some sort of future. I'm just building for the now, and I'm hoping that catches for me. At a minimum, he's going to, I think, get at probably 30%. He could end up with 50% of those rushing attempts in that offense. I would have liked to have seen somebody like Randall Cobb fall to me there. That's not the end of the world, though. I like D.D. Westbrook. I think that offense is going to throw a heck of a lot. Steven Sims is really solid. The problem is that offense isn't going to score a whole lot. I'm looking for Brian Edwards, and I'm not going to find it before the clock runs out, so we're going to go ahead and take D.D. Westbrook. I think it might have forced into our hand James Washington. That's not terrible. Oh, no, it gave us Dallas Goedert. There we go. All right, guys. So, or no, maybe it gave us D.D. Westbrook after all. Okay. That is nearly it. No, it ended up slamming D.D. Westbrook into our hands at the last moment there. So we're going to go ahead and just grab a defense. And I think the Chiefs are going to be okay this year. The Eagles, I think, are a little bit weaker than people want to anticipate. So I'm going to pass on them. Broncos are a good steal if you want to do that. Look, Brian Edwards is a guy that you need to be aware of if you haven't been watching. That's a really, really interesting situation this year. And Tyrell Williams has gone down. And as a result, I think that Bryan Edwards is going to fly as a wide receiver 3, wide receiver flex position for you this year. So consider him. He's in an offense that really is looking for people to pass the ball to. And with the loss of Tyrell Williams, that wide receiver 2 spot is completely open now. So go ahead and draft him with confidence. Make sure that you get out there and get it done, guys. All right, that's going to be it for me on this draft. Again, tomorrow we're going to cover our wide receiver 1 position rankings, and then we're going to get the tight end and QB rankings out to you for our last bit of rankings before the last weekend of drafting. And we will talk to you guys next time. Thanks again for being a fan of the Upside, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.